I have the privilege of, just introducing you. So actually, first of all, I have been given the introduction as A. Balasubramaniam. So I'll find it very difficult to say that because for us, you are either Bala or Bala sir as such. Okay, so Bala, he is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Birla Sun Life AMC Limited. He's been, of course, a stalwart of the mutual fund industry, and he brings with him about 3 decades of experience. He has been associated with the Birla Sun Life AMC from 1994. Prior to being a CEO from 2009, he was the CIO from 2006 to 2009. As the Managing Director and CEO, he oversees about 3.1 lakh crore worth of assets under management. Well, he has been awarded CEO of the Year title by Asia Asset Management in 2018 and 2020. He has been awarded Chairman's Individual Award by the Aditya Birla Group for being an outstanding leader in 2015 and for being a Leaders of Leader in 2018. That's commendable, Bala. He also is closely associated, of course, with key industry bodies, and especially he has been on the board of AMFI since 2009 and was vice chairman of AMFI in 2015-16. From 2016-18, he was chairman of AMFI. This year again, he has been appointed chairman of AMFI and is also the ex-officio chairman of AMFI's Financial Literacy Committee. He's also the member on the board of NISM, member of the advisory committee of the SEBI's Investor Protection and Education Fund and Corporate Bonds and Securitization Advisory Committee. Well, I did not know this, but you hold a bachelor's degree in science and mathematics and master's degree in business administration from Global Next University. And of course, you've completed some of the programs from Indian Institute of Management from Bangalore and Harvard Business School. So today's topic is way forward of the mutual fund industry. So I hope the industry is going to expand for you as well as for the distributors. And now let us hear from you. Let us see if our chairman also has something to say.
Yeah. Thanks, Sangeeta, for the introduction. I thought I must butt in today. And when Sangeeta said it is A. Balasubramaniam, the initials are A to B. But for me, Bala represents the A to Z of the mutual fund industry. He has been, I think he must be the person with the longest track record in the industry in terms of his tenure. Because at least I remember Bala right from my first days of investing in the Birla Cash Plus Fund. And before that, he was with GIC Mutual Fund. So Bala has, I think, the longest innings and he's still carrying on very strong. And I think with his background and his experience in the industry, I think we all know that the last year has been really traumatic, but has been good for the industry. And I think I'm sure that with his experience and the way he looks ahead, it would be a lot of insights for all of our members to pick up when Bala addresses us on the topic of way forward. So with these few words, over to you, Bala. Thank you. Thank you once again for accepting and agreeing to address all our members. And once again, congratulations on being reappointed as the AMFI chairman. And we as FIFA look, for your guidance as well as working closely with AMFI on, industry issues. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Dhruv, and thanks to Sangeeta for the kind introduction. Of course, I know Dhruv was mentioning, sometimes I do joke with Dhruv. I know his wife before I came to know about Dhruv. So because of my
yeah, very true.
So that's a long association I do carry with Dhruv and his family. And same thing goes with Sangeeta. I always take pride when I talk about the mutual fund industry and a different model. So I always take Sangeeta's model as an example. An office with only women employees, including the office, we normally used to call his office boy. Of course, here I have to call office girl. So that's the way I always project Sangeeta in the mutual fund industry as somebody as kind of unique model. And same goes with, of course, Rupa, who's been one of the old associates from ILFS days. Now, of course, the association goes for long. And again, I always say that I'm fortunate to be part of the mutual fund industry. Right from the day started in JSC, and since then, if you have to count, as Dhruv mentioned, I must be the only one who has served the longest in the Indian mutual fund industry. And I take, of course, one pride for being part of the industry, one dealing with all of you whom I have high respect. At the end of the day, you all provide greater service to the customer in whichever form it is. And second, of course, is the industry also has got a tremendous growth that we have seen in the last number of years. Therefore, first and foremost, I take pride being part of the industry. Second, I also believe that this industry provides service to the nation. I generally call it a service to the nation. And given the fact that this industry helps so many investors dream, get fulfilled by making them understand mutual fund and then make them invest in mutual fund for long term. And the journey of the last definitely 30 years have got evolved over a period of time. And what I used to think that we are the first one to do, today no more the first one to do, given the fact that everything starts with the first and then gets copied. And we as Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund, clearly we have done many innovations, like I think what Dhruv mentioned about liquid fund. We were the first one to launch the liquid fund in those days. But of course, all now become history. So that's something which I believe that Indian mutual fund industry also, and how having seen where we are today, and definitely even after spending 30 years, the very fact that we are thinking about the future of the mutual fund industry, somehow I feel that mutual fund industry is actually such a stage, probably the next 10 years, probably we'll see the growth will be faster than what you have seen in the last 30 years. The reason I am saying specifically this, I used to see this argument being given by the telecom industry. When the telecom industries was new to India, naturally the telecom industries had grown significantly higher number, higher level as a niche industry, both in China and rest of the global market. When India adapted to the new technology and digital platform, it took almost about 35-40 years for China to make sure that every citizen of the country become the user of mobile phone. Whereas in India, it took only about 25 years for the penetration to happen in India. That's something India, consumers have got a greater mindset to adapt to the change and mindset to accept anything that actually does good for them. And then they love it and then embrace it fully. And then they make it as a part of their life. That's why the telecom industry in India got adopted. I think if you have to draw the same parallel for this, and smartphone adaptation in India is one of the highest. It doesn't differentiate between the rich and poor. Every citizen of the country today owns a smartphone because ultimately they go by the experience and the features that builds, and all such things actually being used by without creating any differentiation between whether they can afford or not afford. It also reflects the mindset of the people that got changed in India. Therefore, I think we are in such a scenario, the mutual fund exactly in that space, where the adaptation will become faster, acceptation will become faster, understanding actually would also be more what we call powerful as we move forward. Therefore, the mutual fund product would become one of the most accepted products in the country, which I believe, I think probably the next 10 years will happen. Second is clearly one of the bigger advantage point, my belief is actually will also make this happen. Clearly, since the time we started the mutual fund Sahi, when I was, of course, AMFI chairman, I rolled it out as a mutual fund Sahi as a concept, and then got evolved by even subsequent chairman when Nilesh was driving it. Clearly got evolved further. And now as a current chairman, I'm supposed to drive this. Then I had a brief meeting with the agencies and also looked at what you have done and then how it had an impact and how actually it can be taken forward for the future. Clearly 3-4 things which are emerging as part of the whole understanding where we have reached and where we can go. Clearly 3-4 things which are coming very clearly as part of the survey. In fact, we already engaged an external agency to do the survey on behalf of the industry. And initially we thought that I'll do a sample survey covering about 10,000 people in the country. Then I suggested, let it, I think, not restrict only 10,000 people. Maybe let us take about 40,000 people for a sample survey. Cover locations, not just only Mumbai and Delhi. Let us cover the location between T30 and B30 and the smaller location. Also cover location like Northeast, just to get an understanding actually how the mutual funds are being viewed by the people at large and different parts of the country, and how the advertisement that they are giving, how it's impactful, and what kind of service they are also able to get from advice on various people. We'll get those things captured and then see what should be the next round of journey. Clearly, one of the things which was emerging as part of the initial feedback, though the surveys that got completed, clearly on the basis of the initial feedback is coming as something which one of my vision also was that ultimately mutual fund should become a mass product, and that's something every household in the country should be the owner of the mutual fund product and consider this alternate to the traditional investment that they have been making, like a fixed deposit. The second, which I think is also making this as something is possible, for one simple reason that structurally, I think the interest rate is going to stay low for a long period of time. I think what you have seen in the global market, whether it is US or Japan, the interest rates have remained in a very narrow band for a long period of time. And given the fact that Indian consumers have got large pool of their money only in the fixed deposits, and given also the fact that income that is generated out of fixed deposit is not going to be sufficient enough for people to feel happy. Leave aside whether it's going to come, is going to fulfill their future needs or something, but whether it all will be happy, I think the time will come. People start feeling actually why is it such a low return on my FDs, and probably the banks, instead of going after rising deposits, and they'll also have to go for the income or maybe the income generation in somewhere, whichever the form it is. Given the whole thing, I think structurally is undergoing a change. Clearly from the consumer point of view, I think there will be a deeper need for looking at alternative fixed deposits. And that is where I think the mutual funds would become one of the vehicles in which every depositors, every savers in the country would look to add mutual fund as part of the portfolio. So that's something I see as a big change that is coming in. I'll not be even surprised, say next 10 years, 50% of the bank deposit size become actually the mutual fund size. That's the way I think the retail investors will start looking at mutual fund as a vehicle. And therefore, the most of the bank deposits in which the investments used to be made, as we have seen in the global market in the US, 100 times of more than 1%, one time of the banking deposit size is the mutual fund size, which is what I believe will also happen. Second, which I think I see it clearly is happening, is the mutual fund players. There was a question which was coming to me in the early days when Birla was buying some of the fund houses like Alliance, Apple Mutual Fund in the way back in 99, then Alliance Mutual Fund, subsequently the ING Mutual Fund. We were almost there in Zurich Mutual Fund when we were buying. We almost were the thin of, by few days, we let go that opportunity of buying at Zurich. Otherwise, probably I would assume people like Prashant Jain would be working at Birla. I'd be working somewhere else also, quite possible. But that's, I think the consolidation is happening. So the common question which was coming, even when we were bidding for Fidelity, clearly one of the questions which is coming is Indian mutual fund industries will get narrowed down, and therefore the more and more players will get reduced and get consolidated. Clearly why that was happening for a brief period of time, almost about 10 years, we saw actually the consolidation happening. I think we are at such a stage, you'll see more and more mutual funds becoming the players to operate. We'll probably see the small mutual funds also start rising in terms of more number of people coming in. But of course, I see the two things which is remaining: the scale players, the top 10 players, top 15 players will remain one set. Will continue to drive the bigger aspiration of growing, expanding the market, expanding the customer base, and rest of the players, my own belief is, will continue to get their pie of shares by way of differentiated product and so on and so forth. Clearly, we'll also see as we move forward the index-based product also it increasingly becoming one of the area of focus. But having said that, clearly I see the both go hand in hand in terms of providing the solution to the customers. As a result of that, where I see is one of the bigger opportunities which is emerging for people like yourself, even both of us are the same boat, in the sense we are a manufacturer and you are the advisor, and both are on the same boat when it comes to the question of meeting the customer aspiration fulfilled. And both have got a common goal, common duty, and the same risk that we probably talk about. The risk is, of course, coming and hitting the mutual fund. We can probably say, and both of us are facing the same risk. At the same time, both of us will remain significantly relevant from the customer point of view. That relevance, as long as it remains a big from the point of view of consideration, that the question will always remain: what is it I need to do different to ensure that I am able to actually participate in the growth while being a manufacturer. I am able to participate in the growth while being a mutual fund distributor and advisor. And given the fact, as the size of the pie keeps rising, then the role of us and role of you, I think, would only get enhanced, will get realized. And therefore, the role that as an advisor will play will only go up significantly. Though the MFD, or we may call it, or we may call it the advisor, or we call it as a manufacturer, whichever way we look at it, the role that we will play, rather I would say, the critical role that we will play will only increase significantly. The importance of us will only increase significantly, given the fact that as the pie starts rising, and the need for advisors will become a significantly high important quotient of every decision making of the customer. So that's something which I think I see it, and that's why I keep telling in a public forum that up to a size, you can actually take a punt, you can test it as a millennials. As you start seeing, as you start burning your finger, as you start seeing actually how things actually start shaping up in your own portfolio, as you start growing, your of course income level goes up. Therefore, the care that one need to provide for taking care of the income to work in a manner that you want this to work to meet your future needs, and that's why I think the advisor will play a bigger role. Therefore, I only see the pie actually will increase quite significantly. But while do that, of course, for both of us, there is a clear opportunity that exists, and the importance of both the platform continues to remain exist. The only one or two areas which I believe will of course change is more in the form of adaptation with respect to the way we offer our product, the way we offer our solution. So one of the area where I see that change actually is moving away from a product focus to the solution focused. For anything that we do, it could be a bundling, it could be a allocation, it could be anything of that kind. Ultimately, from customer point of view, we'll have to move it gradually from product to the solution. Therefore, all of us will have to probably move towards a solution approach. That's why the 401k, I think, has become larger in US. It's mainly because the solution-based product is agnostic to the mutual fund, it's agnostic to the product, agnostic to the performance, but ultimately is a solution-based approach, which I think in my own belief is as more and more players coming in, I think industry will gradually move away from a product to actually solution-based. Therefore, how much of our adaptation, the change of pitching the product or pitching the solution, I think how our language of pitching, I think will have to undergo a change. And that probably could be one of the area of the change that one has to bring in. And second, of course, is actually the collective wisdom today definitely is working in terms of the digital technology platform which is changing, the way it's changing the whole world. Therefore, how much of the adaptation that we are also able to bring in more on the digital side in adapting to the even using the public platform, how I'm able to do it, provide a greater service. And whatever said and done today, the question of creating doesn't arise. It's a question of adapting to the new technology platform that is coming in, the available public domain, how actually it can be used actually by all of us, I think would also become one of the way forward. And third, of course, is I think as the size becoming bigger, then naturally, I think everyone, of course, gets stuck at a certain level, given the fact that aspiration levels will keep varying and keep changing. As it has happened in the global market, I think clearly, I think the aggregator kind of model will gradually actually also pick up. Therefore, one also the way I appreciate some of the steps that have been taken by FIFA and the association, go to the aggregator model in some of the areas that you are all trying. I think increasingly that will also be one of the area of focus which will come, given the fact that up to an extent one can build scale and size, and beyond a point, if the scale and size, ultimately a convergence actually will have to happen for that to actually go to the next level. Therefore, many such innovations I think would also be extremely important while building the business and picking up actually some of these grinds that I think all of us have got and bringing actually the next model that will come. And finally, with respect to the regulation, I think mutual fund industries, I think a lot of things have happened in the last many number of years in terms of regulatory framework. But I think the way I think things are changing, the way more and more players are coming in, probably I think a time has come where the competition will actually take care of the regulatory framework expectations rather than regulatory intervention coming in frequently. That's something I believe, the way I think things have changed the last 4 or 5 years. Either we can say that whether it is good or bad, whether it had an impact or not had an impact. The very fact that industry has grown to where they are today and likely to grow further, therefore probably one would assume whatever has happened, it has happened for good. At the same time, the competition landscape is also undergoing a change, and therefore that also will bring in its own way of what we call regulating the market rather than impacting the market, rather than regulatory interventions coming in and doing things which I think will further do the any impact that probably would expect it to happen, which I don't see that happening from the regulation point of view. That definitely I think the competitive landscape changing will bring in its own competitive pressure. That will bring the market to where they have to get settled down, and that's something all of us have to of course keep a close watch and see how best I think we are able to adapt to those changes in our building business. And what actually remains constant is the pie of opportunity very large, and the pie of opportunities coming into the mutual fund is still very, very large. And given the fact that increased level of experience that we are getting in, which is basically the experience that all of you would have given to our customers, this is something I think ultimately will play a bigger role in building the business. Is not the regulatory changes. Sometimes we do, as journalists believe in the overseas platform, despite the regulatory framework, there are industries which have grown significantly higher level, given the fact that they could adapt to the change and build the business to new levels. Which is what I believe that I think the role that the distribution community will play will remain extremely critical, and it's like how doctors play a role in everybody's life, and that's something will remain the financial doctor, which I think we can probably take it as the financial doctor, the financial advisor doctor is something the role only go up quite significantly, but that how actually one adapt to the change is something will be extremely critical. But as I speak, there are some steps which are taken by AMFI, especially to recognize MFDs as somebody whom they should look up to. In fact, recently we created actually some discussion that we had, which of course I'm just sharing this with you more. Of course, I can't say the confidential because all of you are there, but still the discussion that we had some time back actually is how, why if one looks at the mutual fund advertisement, how do I make sure that that particular location in which somebody is actually dealing with mutual fund, I would like to know who is my nearby advisor that exists. Any location, it could be a 2 kilometer distance or 10 kilometer distance or 20 kilometer distance or 100 kilometer distance, or maybe even next door neighbor, could be a mutual fund distributor, but probably the investors may not know that I have my neighbor who himself is a mutual fund distributor. So why I'm going searching for distributors anywhere in the country. That's something we want to build it as part of the new model that we have. Second, of course, is something, and jointly with some of your association, clearly I think we can look at expanding the pie. I think something which my own belief is for the growing needs of the customer and growing the needs for providing the large growing size of the customer base from servicing point of view, definitely, I think on a per capita basis, if you look at the advisors, clearly the community can become very, very large. And the recent case, which I think I see, SEBI came with the some of the new model, which I think got released last week. Accredited investors can become advisor. That's something they have now come to the new theme, mainly on the basis of the potential of the customer is actually is quite large. He is able to manage his money by himself. Whether we can consider accredited investors as one of the model, which I think SEBI has thought about it, which again something is going to change the landscape of the financial savings coming to the capital market. That in somehow I believe there's great opportunity for all of us to stay bullish, stay confident that industry will continue to grow. Also have a belief that regulatory changes, while it continue to happen, I think more than regulatory changes, the competitive landscape will only change. Competitive landscape changing, in my own belief, is more the awareness, more the understanding. The importance of mutual funds will also become the more and more prominent. Therefore, moving away from product type based selling to the solution based selling, I think will become increasingly the order of the day. In this scenario, what role that we all play, I think that's something first and foremost feel proud that yes, I am serving the customers to fulfill the dream, the needs by way of working with the mutual funds and the customers, that you are a single point connect that you can bring, a deeper connect that you bring. But ultimately, I'm a firm believer, I think whatever you may do, ultimately there is an element of empathy and care that I think is what you all can bring in on the table for the customer point of view. Yeah, many times people ask, people move away from me to direct, me to somewhere else. My own belief is, I think the kind of care and empathy that we bring and the connect that we bring on the customers, I think that will play a very critical role in holding the customers together while doing the service and taking care of his money for the longer term purpose. That's why I see it clearly. I think the next generation, all of us who have been in the industry for long, somewhere will retire from the industry, will continue to remain an advocate of the industry. I think this is a time for the people who have been associated but not had long careers. Therefore, they would probably have the long careers as we move forward. Therefore, they'll be able to reap the significant benefit of this. The hard work of so many years, so many number of years, I think will definitely that benefit will go to the next gen. Which is why I believe that all of us have got a great responsibility to get more and more people to be on board with the mutual fund industries as an advocate, as an advisor, or the distributors, or a service provider to the customers. That's what I think we can do. We can take pride. At the same time, service large pool of growing needs of the customers of the country. I think stop here, and I'm sure many of you may have some observation questions. I'll take those questions.
So Bala, one of the things that you said is index-based products will become more popular. So according to you, the passive funds will become a very big portion of the investments now?
See, interestingly, Sangeeta, when I was in Harvard, I happened to meet the global head of BlackRock. He came for teaching for a session, and I have complete BlackRock case study. I can share with your FIFA association, and then you can read it as well in case you want it. Interesting point that he made. I asked him about two things. I said, how do you handle direct? When he was talking about direct. Second, he was talking about passive. When I had a private conversation, he made one point. As a manufacturer, I'm duty bound to give a differential product to the customer. If as a manufacturer, I'm duty bound to give a differential product to the customer, and I would assume even distributor also would be duty bound to give differential product to the customer, right? That's example. I said, as I mentioned, both of them on the same board. So that comes as the first. Second, he was saying that ultimately, from customer point of view, the moment I give a basket of product, I must also mention that both the asset classes serve a different purpose of your needs. Therefore, I'll actually address this issue of distribution on one side. I'll address the issue of direct on the other side. And address the issue of growing needs of ETF. Both will address the complementary product. So that's something very interestingly mentioned. And the moment I look at the product and solution, then automatically it becomes a complementary. But having said that, ETF as a product will grow in size. There absolutely no issue on that. And the passive product will become one of the large, which of course is happening in the US. In India also would become the same way. But given the fact that the both will coexist, and also given the fact the pie is rising, probably you'll see the active managed funds price is rising, because one of the interesting which I believe, sometimes most of the first get stuck on performance. See, at the end of the day, if I do an asset allocation, I'm just doing a simple mathematics that if I do an asset allocation, I do 50% equity, 50% let us assume I put in debt. The total return I get in the portfolio is lower than equity. It's subpar to equity investment that I make. But just because the equity is giving a substantial higher return, can I put all my 100% of money in equity? I cannot put. Therefore, if I take that as a concept, the moment I say ETF also is figuring as part of my portfolio, then naturally I take care of the customer requirement. I'm only fair to the customer while offering a product bouquet. At the same time, total return when I look at it is subpar to the equity, which I of course substantially higher. Therefore, I move away from performance based and product based. The moment I solution based, automatically ETF also will come as part of the allocations. But clearly, from the investor's point of view, that having not made investments in ETF, definitely some asset allocation, income asset allocation will come as part of asset allocation. But clearly, from customer point of view, both will coexist. The percentage can vary from customer to customer. At the same time, money manager will go through a tough time for beating the benchmark on sometimes, but not necessarily will become a permanent thing. Recently, in the US, there's an article, having reached 40% of the mutual fund side or 40% has come from the ETF side. Suddenly, they are now saying ETF are creating havoc in the equity market without looking at the valuation, without looking at fundamentals of the companies. And they are now been buying and selling. As a result of that, a lot of people are now believing that actually create disruption in the equity market. Therefore, the active fund manager also now come back in the US. Maybe I would say in the next 10 years in US, marginal shift towards active could also become a reality. I don't think we can rule out that. Whereas India will catch up on ETF, whereas US probably the high probability from ETF to active managed funds could become one of the area of focus, given the fact that small and mid cap kind of things, I think people are saying stock picking would become the key. Maybe the stock picking would come through the machine. I'm not saying no. But the alpha generation will not going to die. And that being the case, I think we need to be prepared for having both as a combination rather than just getting worried about that's the only way it'll go.
Okay.
You are on mute, Dhruv bhai.
We have Brijesh also on the panel, Bala.
Yes, yes.
I'll request Brijesh to kick off with some other questions. You're on mute, Brijesh.
Thank you so much, Dhruv. And may I request the audience to please put your questions in the Q&A box or the chat box so that I can place them to Bala. And,
Very different, huh?
sorry?
Different, I'm saying.
You're looking different.
I'm saying after for many number of after almost 3-4 years, right?
Yeah.
Used to in the flight.
Yeah. So if there is any question, please, I request you to please put up on the Q&A in the chat box. Just to kickstart, Bala, I want to ask you and understand from you. Everybody is saying that ETS will be preferred and index fund will be preferred. And then we talk about the growth of the mutual fund distribution business. How do you think a mutual fund distributor can promote an index fund? And up to index fund is fine, but there is no incentive for a mutual fund distributor to sell an ETF. And even if he sells index fund, he gets 0.1 or 0.15 or 0.2%, which is not even recovering the cost of selling index funds. The margins are already under pressure. And if the mutual fund distributor starts selling index fund, they don't get a fee. How do they sustain themselves? And what is the way out of this?
Now, Brijesh, this point I was discussing in the last 2-3 years, I've been discussing about this. Whenever we have a forum of discussion, I deeply think about this and then see how it will work. think clearly from customer point of view, what is that we need to provide? Fairness. I need to provide fairness. Leave aside our commission for the time being, our income for the time being. From a customer point of view, how to bring in fairness? Is the fairness comes way of selling one product heavily or one single product heavily? Or should I actually be fair to the customers by looking at the total solution that I can provide? That is where I feel that complementary comes in. When I mean the complementary, as I mentioned earlier, from a customer point of view, he has needs of various asset classes, including gold to some extent, real estate to some extent, also fixed income to large extent, right? That's the way every customer portfolio is created. No customer today only wants only wealth. At the end of the day, he wants to protect his income, protect his capital, and protect his income, and create sufficient income for his future survivability and so on and so forth. You keep that as a broad theme in mind, and also bring in a fairness to the customers in mind. Then the question is, do I need to go completely aggressive on giving only the index fund, or should I give a mix of both? And my belief is, I think we should be in the second category. I should give a mix of both, which basically it could be, I recommend an index fund while doing an asset allocation strategy. At the same time, I give, say, one mid cap fund, a large cap fund, or multi cap fund I give, which actively managed funds as another category. Also, I give equally a fixed income product, which actually gives me a downside protection. That's why we all build the portfolio. So that's why I think the whole mindset, we are probably move away from, is the income is high or not income is high, or do I get sufficient income? Instead of looking at that, am I being fair to the customers and considering the overall portfolio while giving either informal advice or proper advice and handholding our customers? That I think is taken care. Then the overall pie increasing. See, I think one of the areas where we all miss is actually the pie of every customer keeps rising every year in some form or other. But are we actually increasing that pie as part of my overall portfolio? Is something that all of us have to ask the question to ourselves, and then ensure that we actually, the pie increase that actually remains as the most trusted an advisor to the customers, which again comes on the basis of the loyalty that we create for the customers to deal with you. That's something that would be extremely critical. See, revenue in my view is a function of scale and size. It's not just only in the function of how much the revenue goes up on the basis of increased, for example, the way broking industries have got evolved in the country, and those who are focused on scale and size and volume, and they have actually been able to make more money. Those who have restricted themselves to only this, say, certain segment of the market, so they have over a period of time not willing to change their business model. Either they are moved out or they are handed out to somebody else. I think my own belief is even distributors also have to think in the same way. Even for manufacturers have to think in the same way. It's equally applicable for distributors as well. The moment you become a total bouquet solution provider, some of your concerns that you are mentioning, I think will be completely taken away. But given the fact that size is increasing, then naturally the income that you get also to the extent will increase, not to the extent that you expect that to increase.
So Bala, I will take a question from Yasir, very valid point. But before that, I want to do a follow-up question on this and your suggestion. And I appreciate your whole point of increasing the pie in the size. How will you suggest that the whole industry, the minds of the HDFCs and SBIs and the build-up put together, AMFI comes out with a data point that industry is expected to grow approximately 15% year-on-year basis for the next 5 years. When you extrapolate 35 lakh crores to 70 lakh crores in 5 years' time, it looks to be a brilliant figure. But actually, it is nothing more than 15%, out of which almost 9 to 10% is coming from mark-to-market. So industry is adding only 5% net sales year-on-year, and entire 42 AMCs are working behind it. SEBI is working and AMFI is working. Is increasing the pie the responsibility of mutual fund distributor or the manufacturers or the regulators? How do you expect a 10 crore mutual fund distributor AUM to expand the pie to increase the revenue, given the situation that Birla is growing 15%, HDFC is growing 15%, industry is growing 15%, and if this mutual fund distributor at 8 crores grows 15%, it is 1 crore, which means 30-40,000 rupees in enhancement. Don't you think expecting mutual fund distributor, which is only 33% of the total market size of the India today, national distributor and direct component if you remove, is too much of asking from a mutual fund distributor to increase the pie?
I think it's a collective effort, Dalmia, is collective effort for one thing. The way I think things are picked up, Rajesh, is on the way we work together, right? We work together, we manufacture work together. We work with the mutual distributors on one side, work with the channel partners on the other side. We also work with masses addressing to the mutual fund side that we are doing, right? That's actually the address is the mass understanding of mutual fund. Therefore, the awareness level is increasing. And that's something actually increases the overall pie. And within the overall pie, it is a collective responsibility of everybody. It's not just only one or only MFD. MFD is actually one of the large pie of the mutual fund space. And the other pie is also, of course, is there. As you rightly put it, about 40-45% of the mutual fund AUM and equity, roughly about 50% comes from MFDs. Balance comes from rest of the people. Whereas on the contrary, if you look at the fixed income space, large pool comes in the direct because it predominantly is the treasury money, or to some extent HNIs. Some portion of the money, of course, comes to the advisors. And that pie itself, why it's low? Because everybody has been focusing only on the equity as an asset class. And of course, it will obviously understood is the most underpenetrated asset class. Therefore, large pool of money has been being mobilized for equity. But I think in the moment that the way the narrative changes, so ultimately it's all about narratives. The narrative changes, then clearly I think the collective effort that will come in building the customer base will become a reality. So I think all of us will play a role in that. The bigger plus point which I see, which I think, which again, I asked a gentleman who again came from US. The last time I was AMFI chairman, a well-banked gentleman who came to India for assessing the regulator operation. And that was the job in which they came. SEBI, of course, confidentially asked me to meet them and then give an overview of what regulator has been doing in India, both in RBI and SEBI and other regulators. After having all the discussion, I asked him about how MF industry picked up in US. The day they started advocating mutual fund is a way of investing through the 401k plan, and they started investing in advertisement, promoting, that is the time actually the entire kickstart started. Therefore, what we have done in the mutual fund SAHI in the last 5 years is only the 5 years journey. 2016 was started, 17 was started, the demand came, demand gave us a big benefit. And fortunately, today the bigger demand that has come is actually the Reserve Bank of India governor, which is keeping the interest rate so low. I think it's going to remain for too long. For structurally, I think if it changes, therefore the growth will become fast. That's why I mentioned my talk also. Therefore, while the responsibility we are saying is a collective responsibility, and that will come provided the element of feeling proud about the role I'm playing, feeling proud about service I'm doing to the customers, and then feeling proud about me growing the size despite regulation being there. I think that will, first set the ball rolling for the thing to big. Which I think my own belief is that is the way I think we need to also change the way of thinking, rather than thinking that yes, will I be able to grow and so on and so forth. Because the pie is large. This is what I just mentioned. What you're saying is right, 5% growth we have seen in the last few years. Also, if you look at it, 16, 17, 18, the highest net inflow the industry has seen, in which all of you have contributed also big time, almost 3,50,000 crores was a single year equity inflows in the year 16, if I'm not wrong. 3 lakh crores is a big number. And that industry is getting more and more prominent. Is the one actually which will make all of us to feel more confident about investing in the mutual fund for long term. And that's something in my own belief will make it work in the next few years. I think what is going to add to that is the digital technology platform, which is of course is coming. You'll find millennials coming through that. But most of the people who have got large pool of money is not going to actually invest through the online. He's going to invest through a proper advisor. Nobody is going to invest on the basis of robotic advisory. Therefore, Bala is not going to invest on the basis of robotic advisory. I would rather have somebody actually also helps me when giving some advice. That is the thing, target segment. I think what we need to be very clear about what target segment I'm serving. If that actually is very clear to all of us, I'm sure each one of us can actually make our own space in this highly competitive space.
So, thank you so much, Bala. So I have a very interesting question from Yasir Warawala. And you also referred to the mutual fund Sahi Hai investments advertisements. Now, Yasir believes, and many of us believes that, these ads are brilliant. No doubt awareness is being created about mutual funds. But I think, don't you think that there is a negative idea behind advertisements regarding direct investment, rather than suggesting the viewers that if you are a savvy investor, you should invest in mutual funds directly, rather than putting the emphasis on zero commissions? Can we not suggest Amphi to have a very good balance? It seems to a layman that, it is a very biased kind of advertisement on a one-way side. And again, rarely we see an advertisement where the perception of working with a distributor is preferred. So how can we change the perception of Amphi or these advertisements which are so robust to change the perception of the role? So on one side, you are suggesting that our role is very important, but don't you think that Amphi should recognize our effort and put an emphasis on the advertisement the way you put emphasis on direct investment showing zero commission? Why don't you put a very good branding of the mutual fund distributor in some kind of the ads? So what is your view on these two elements?
No, in fact, Rajesh, there is already a talk which is there. I think I must also give, in all sense, I would appreciate the earlier committee who done some work around this as to how we can give importance for the MFDs, mutual fund distributors, in some of our advertisement. While of course we do say after every advertisement, please consult financial advice in the nearby location. I think every advertisement, if you see, we do give that as either you reach the mutual fund office or you consult your financial advisors. That's something we are now taking to the next level. The advertisement that we are giving, I think one of the things which of course are waiting for SEBI clearance, mostly I'll get that done very soon. But anybody who of course has a concern on rumors and other things, then you must get it verified with mutual fund distributors so they can allay the fear of your concerns, and then accordingly they can provide advice. That's something we are already working on it, and hopefully the next few weeks, subject of course SEBI approval, which I think is in the hands of SEBI for getting it approved, and mostly if that's done, you will see that coming in. But with respect to the direct, I think the way so far the mutual funds say got evolved, initially it was more about making mutual funds to be part and parcel of the discussion every household. While having a tea and coffee, you must have the discussion. And second is, as time progressed, you must of course give the choice of investment opportunity that is there for the customer. Direct is not something, it is actually undermining the distributors. It's not meant for undermining distributors' role. It is actually to look at, I mentioned about the fairness, right? It came from that angle. But at the end of the day, after every advertisement talking about that mutual fund distributor is somebody who can take an advice, and if you are not able to actually take your own calls, also is part and parcel of that. Therefore, that's the way I think it got evolved. Clearly, some of the areas where the one which are now even thinking on the digital side, I think we are also looking at further enhancement on the digital side, on the increase in the content, in which where I just mentioned about today, as I mentioned earlier, if a customer comes and checks with me, will I be able to tell him that the way I know nearby a mall is there, right? A nearby petrol station. Can I give a similar input on nearby financial advisors? That's something can I give. Today, you go and search for it, you may get it through the, so let us take some platform, but it's not available today. We thought we must play the role of giving that visibility for all our MFDs. That's something we are working on it. And mostly once it is done, integrated, I only suggested to the team that we must make that MFD, if somebody search, it should not come in like a black and white movie in those days. It should come with just some element of feel-good factor. It has to give you some feel-good factor. You should feel that person is close by, and so on and so forth. That's something we are thinking. I think that is a small committee is driving that. Once it is done, probably we'll be able to give more visibility for MFDs who are here and holders registered across the country.
Fantastic. And I think, before I take up the next question, I think, many of the mutual fund distributors believe that the role of MFD the role of AMFI or the approach of AMFI, which is considered to be an industry body, and MFD is a part of the industry, is neutral to less than neutral when it comes to mutual fund distributors. I think it's time that AMFI recognizes mutual fund distributor above neutral and gives them some positioning and branding in the eyes of the general public. So this particular aspect is very, very important. And since you have headed AMFI and you are one of the senior most people in the mutual fund industry, I think it's time that the approach of AMFI towards mutual fund distributor rises above the neutral as if we just exist to something much, much more prominent, that they're doing something wonderful to promote the MFD community. I will move ahead. And
So just can I, Brijesh, very excellent point that you have made. And if I can just come in here, Bala, it's related to the advertising. So one is the position of the distributor. We are seeking, what Brijesh is saying, help from AMFI. And related to that is in our interactions with SEBI over the last few years, the message from SEBI is that distributor is an agent of the mutual fund. Distributor has no contract with the client, correct? So what we are trying to say from a FIFA perspective, like we have done the branding, say Saathi Zaruri hai.
Right.
And what you mentioned also, that a mutual fund distributor brings empathy and concern, a personal connect with the investor. But what SEBI's perspective is that client belongs to AMC. Client does not belong to distributor. Distributor is playing a role for the AMC. So in that context, I'm saying when we are doing the campaigning that mutual fund sahi hai, in some way we are feeling that there has to be also a campaign that what we are saying Saathi Zaruri hai. Some person is necessary. And while AMFI does the campaigning to the investors, there is a direct plan and there is a regular plan, fine. You are educating the customer or the investor, two options are available. But I think we also need to educate the customer that Saathi Zaruri hai. If the mutual fund industry believes that they need a distributor,
Correct.
if you believe that a distributor is necessary, I mean, it is not maybe necessary for the investor. Investor has a choice to do on his own. So you educate him. Bhai, aapko khud karne ka hai, to you come direct. But if we believe as an industry that most investors need, and whether that services is by way of a distributor or an advisor, but the role, as you said, of empathy and all. So I believe that is one of the points that somewhere, the way that Brijesh brought up, I'm saying the role of a distributor, that it is necessary. And from our experience, we realize, especially if you go back to the pandemic, I think the whole distribution fraternity, all individual IFAs, maybe other distributors also, played a very key role in handling the investor emotions. So this is one point that this, I would say, also is related to, I would say, when we want to increase the reach of the number of investors and penetration, one is that it will happen through the direct mode, social media, a lot of new fintechs reaching out through technology. But second, I think, is tier 2, tier 3, where the personal reach is required.
Right.
How do we get more distributors into the profession? So I think while SEBI has mandated to spend some 2 basis points on investor awareness, I think if 1 basis point is allowed to be spent on creating new distributors,
Exactly.
one distributor will reach out to 1,000 families. What you're spending on 2 basis points, you're trying to reach out to investors.
Correct. Correct.
But by spending half the money, you will reach out to more than 1,000 investors compared to the direct. So these were the 2 points that I thought I just wanted to add.
No, I agree with you, Dhruv. Definitely, we can think about some out-of-the-box ideas by remaining compliant from SEBI angle. And still, we can think about how we can probably build more visibility for MFDs in the Amphi platform itself. Maybe of course, the first one which I just mentioned, what we just thought about a few days back as to what we can do as a first stage. And of course, with the change in the guard and even SEBI, if there's an opportunity actually to make that representation, even the SEBI will try and make the effort. I'm saying from a mutual fund SIA point of view, keep aside some for the purpose of development of the large pool of distributors in the country. And that's something, if you're able to do that, nothing like it. We made an attempt, when I was there, I made an attempt to do that very clearly. But again, probably now we'll take it up as one of the initiatives. I'm not saying it's a great idea. It is also a time of a need, as I mentioned, the role that we play, relevance that we play, continues to remain important in the growing pie of the customers. So that's, I think, keep this in mind. I'll take your input. We'll work. Maybe one of the days I'll meet some of you as to how we can, in fact, I don't want to say it. Even I've been suggesting to even SEBI that whenever there's an opportunity to have representation of one of you in some of the committees, and I've given an open suggestion, and if they accept it, is good. That also, of course, I'll talk to you separately and see how best we can do that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bala, I have a question by, I can't see the name, it is coming as anonymous attendee. And he touches the point which Dhruv just now mentioned, that has the total number of advisors or distributors increased at sufficient pace to keep up with the requirement of the industry? So let's say the industry AUM is growing by 15%, but is the active distributor force increasing by 15%? This is the first part of the question. The second part of the question is that, what are AMCs doing to create a new battery of mutual fund distributor? There's a lot of budget of most of the AMCs on training and providing tools to existing set of mutual fund distributors. But it will be interesting to know from you in your AMC or other AMCs, what is the budget, or is there something called budget to create new mutual fund distributors? Because the insurance industry is flourishing because they have a battery which encourages new agency. But in mutual fund, we don't see that. Everybody is coming on their own by reference or something like that. But AMCs are not promoting new mutual fund distributor. So is there something happening at this front?
Interestingly, Brijesh, while the number of holders have only gone up in the last few years, that's something which I see the new distributors have been joining. I still see the new distributors are coming in. We cannot say new distributors are not coming in. There are people who see this as an opportunity, and therefore they are now taking this plunge. I also know some of the journalists who have been part of the journalism suddenly become an advisor in some parts of the country. And that's something which definitely is happening. I can't say it's not happening. We can, of course, ask whether the pace of growth is as good as the pace of growth in the customer base or the kind of money that is being raised in the mutual fund industries. Maybe the pace could definitely be much higher than what we have seen. Second is in terms of expansion, as you rightly put it, it used to be part of individual AMCs. For example, we have a separate team who drives both investor education and distribution engagement. So that's something we as a fund house have a separate team of people with KSR are running it. And each mutual fund have got their own model. One other thing which I think came, which of course came from the gentleman who started this along with our Reliance gentleman, head of sales. What is his name? Yeah. So he started this thing, joint model. The first time ever, all of us participated, about 10 or 12 mutual fund participated, only for onboarding new distributors and onboarding some of the insurance agents to be the advisors in the mutual fund. There is actually first time joint initiative is done. All of us are put as a pilot model, about 14-20 lakh rupees we put as part of that. And that something is taking a shape, which I think is my own belief is just a starting point. I think it's one of the areas where we can definitely do much better in terms of driving, instead of doing at the industry, doing at the individual level. This mutual fund distributors onboarding can be actually driven by Amphi. That's something we can think about as to how we can drive it together at the industry level. Because there is a collective collaboration that comes from mutual fund industry players. Today, for certain and all the 45 mutual funds work together That's something I always take pride in the industry, though we're all competing in the external world. When it comes to the question of driving the growth of industry, we're all together. That's something there's a huge scope for us to improve further from an industry-wide point of view. That I think we can definitely do that.
Wonderful. I have just one last question from my side, and I just want to give a very small touch upon. Mr. Parmanand is saying, do you see a possibility, a rationale that like the pharma industry, that there are certain products which are called, over the counter, and certain are prescribed through the prescription? Do you foresee a case that some of the mutual fund products could be made distributor only or RI only and not available to direct investor?
It's quite possible. See, in today's world of innovation, and I don't think we can rule out any of these options, given the fact that the ability to take risk is high, the ability to bring in innovation the way we offer. There used to be a time where I used to myself think, can there be a regional mutual fund? If you look at financial services, within the financial services, there are many companies in the country who do not want to be an all-India player. And there are some other companies, they want to be a regional player, happy with what they are doing. But as long as one actually has that kind of model, I'm sure you will see the innovation, such innovations coming in. I don't think we can rule out that. Somebody can say, no, I'll offer product, not direct, I'll offer product only through coming the distribution model. So especially the financial product, only the area that differentiation which have to come. I think globally global products are always through the distribution. Like Apple International, if you have to take as a company who was to be one of our partners in the early 90s, you have to get into the Apple International only through an intermediary advisory. Otherwise, you can't get into them. You can't reach the fund managers the way India reaches. And fund management actually is a very premium material. And people have to, except the institutional customers, all other customers will go through intermediaries. And such models, whether it can come to India, definitely it can come. I don't think we can rule out that. Whether it can give a scale is something I think people always have a question mark. Whether the model can come, the model can definitely come.
Okay, one last question from my side, Bala. You as the head of the organization, are you personally worried about the performance of active mutual funds versus index? And do you foresee in the future that AMCs on their own can cut down the expense ratio, bring down the distribution margin or overall cost structure to compete with the index to show some kind of outperformance? Do you think that the current expense ratios on active management funds, given their underperformance to the benchmark, warrants this situation?
So I don't personally believe in that, because I myself manage money. And performance is, I think, is something when I often discuss, is that you should sell on the basis of performance, you should sell on the basis of the solution. I think performance is something I'm a firm believer is that like somebody has got a house in Bombay has become richer than somebody has got a house in Kolkata. That doesn't mean the person who was invested in the house in Kolkata is inferior to a person in Bombay. It is the level of satisfaction one has to bring in. I think if everyone starts selling on the basis of the performance, clearly we will invite some bit of trouble. So I'm a firm believer that ultimately the total basket performance actually is what matters to the customers. It's not a single individual. See, power of compounding is something we can easily say, had you put money in so much, you would have made so much money. And that's something which my own belief is, one starts selling on the basis of which we invite actually trouble rather than inviting some kind of attention. I think most of the thing we think we get attention, which is not true in real world. Ultimately, the customer is always happy with what he gets on total basket basis. That's why I think underperformance is a function of market. I think money manager, as long as he does his job in picking the right stocks in the right sectors on an ongoing basis, as long as he has an open mind to pay attention to how the market is evolving on the basis of his build his portfolio. And as long as he's not adamant to change the portfolio, I think that something is more than enough actually to give some kudos to the money manager. Ultimately, what is most important, the protection of money is more important, not just performance alone. And this is my personal belief. I've been making this public statement even when I give an interview, but I'm sure the world will kind of look at it a little differently.
Well, I think that was a great answer. Sangeeta, I think that's all from my side. Any other agenda for us today, or should we close it?
Bala, I just have one more question.
Yes.
What do you think about this technology platforms? Do you think that would take away the business of the MFEs?
No, I think it will only enable, Sangeeta. This question is only enable. Technology will evolve. I think we cannot expect technology to stop just because we are worried. Technology will continue to invent the wheel. I think technology will keep on providing better experience to the customers. Therefore, that something will remain. So ultimately, technology is what is nothing but a tool. It's not a replacement of you and me. It's only a tool. So as long as we consider the tool and also make the best use of the tool to upgrade my own skills and knowledge as part of the adaptation is something I think more critical. Only if I, as a distributor, if I just say that no, I'll only give you physical, but not the email form, or maybe I'll not give you a single page look if the customer wants it. Using the externally available platform, that something will look a little foolish. As long as we are not doing that and then provide a care to the customers by providing a service on an ongoing basis, this something is more than enough for us. I think adapting to the using as a tool is more important rather than getting worried about technology.
And what do you think about the valuations that they are getting?
See, valuation is a function of Sangeeta is today, of course, all high valuation. Valuation, see, today I run an AMC. I'm unhappy on getting the valuation lower than some of my competition on one side. I am also, when I compare the global market, valuation gets dropped. I think valuation is something, is a very, what do you call, it is a more situational. The valuation for somebody who is actually generating annuity income over a period of time has to get narrow range, which is what in my view will also happen even in India also. So today's valuation is coming on the basis of scale benefit that one can get. Once it reaches a mature stage, naturally valuation has to drop, which I think that's what globally also has happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dhruv?
Yeah, so Bala, I don't have any questions, just one request. I think over the pandemic, earlier we used to, FIFA and AMFI used to meet regularly, maybe once a quarter, but it got sort of, that practice because of the pandemic obviously got broken. So I
Yeah.
just, now that you are back as chairman, we just request that if we can start some sort of a regular
Sure.
interaction. And yeah, that's all.
Will do. And thanks, Dhruv, and thanks, Vijay, thanks, Sangeeta, and all members of FIFA. And thanks for having me part of this session today. And look forward to seeing some of you physically very soon.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you very much, Bala, for sparing your time. Thank you all the members for attending. Thank you, Sangeeta and Brajesh. Thank you very much.
Take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.